This part starts, and the system is saying to Yifan, the host is such an idiot. This is the curse of the brother bear whom you defeated. Originally, as a mortal, you would have been cursed to die immediately. But I helped you to hang on to your life. How dare he steal the fate I selected? He must be torn to pieces. And Yifan says to the system, how much lifespan do I have left now? So the system tells Yifan, this curse speeds up the consumption of lifespan by 100 times. Originally, you had 2 years of lifespan, but now it's only enough for a week, and Yifan gets shocked after hearing the system's words, and the system is telling Yifan, that's right, you're about to die. Hurry up and think of a way to break the curse. This time we're on the same front line. And the system throws Yifan out of the dimension, and he directly falls on Hongying. And we can see that Hongying is not wearing anything. But Yifan is saying, 9. Why doesn't she look where she is throwing me? And Hongying is feeling very embarrassed. But she is talking to Yifan. Master! How did you come back? But Yifan tells Hongying, if there's news about longevity medicine, go directly to Jiukong Pharmacy in the south of the city to find me. I have to leave for important matters. So Hongying says to Yifan, Master, rest assured, Hongying will do everything possible to find longevity for Master. Then Yifan starts using his power, and he disappears from this place. And after this scene the time shifts and we see Black Wind Village. And at this place some people are doing rituals together. And many people are being sacrificed, and due to which a lot of energy is being generated. And we see the leader, who is getting all this done, sacrificing a lot of people. And the leader is laughing loudly and he is saying, fortunately, my clone hit that person and left a mark in his soul, making everything go so smoothly. Whether you're a Yuaning true person or a reincarnation of a heavenly god, once you're affected by this curse of the heavens, you can only await death. But then a portal starts opening at that place, and a hand comes out of that portal, which destroys those people's weapons, and the one who does this is Yifan. And he says, so you've already decided on your own fate. And we see the leader, who is very shocked, and he says to Yifan, impossible, how did you detect it? That's a divine object from the Emperor's immortal era. Then Yifan is releasing his aura and he is saying nonsense. And we see the scene from a while ago, where the system is speaking to Yifan, consuming half of your lifespan in one breath. Are you really okay? Then Yifan tells the system, instead of worrying about lifespan, I'm more worried that he won't die miserably enough. So the system says to Yifan, then let me help you too, after all we're partners, right? And the system starts giving its power to Yifan, due to which Yifan's power has now increased a lot. And the leader is unable to do anything in front of Yifan's power, and he is saying, how is it possible you've clearly been cursed already. Yifan has a lot of power, due to which Yifan kills the leader's companion very easily, and the leader is barely able to save himself from Yifan's power. But it is of no use and Yifan is about to kill the leader very easily. And the only thing the leader is able to say is, how is this possible? And with this the leader's game ends, and he is killed very easily, in the end. Brother Bear turned into dust in space. And Yifan stands comfortably at that place. And we can see that every single thing of this place is broken, the whole place has become like a ruin. And Yifan gives the middle finger while showing it, he is saying, daring to plot against me, seeking death. But then the system tells Yifan, host, you're celebrating too soon, now your lifespan is still being consumed at a rate of 1 day to 100 times. And on hearing about the system, Yifan starts getting nervous and he says, I've clearly destroyed the heaven-cursing staff, how can this be? Then the system says to Yifan, it's too late, the curse has already attached to you, destroying this thing is useless. And Yifan removes his cloth and looks in his chest to see that his curse is still with him, so that Yifan gets very shocked, and he says, then I'm almost done for. After this the scene is set, outside the Tianwu City Pharmacy. And some people are very scared, and everyone is shouting that a monster has come to this place, and we should run away from this place. And we see that it is a bear. On the other hand, we see Yifan, who is very disappointed, and while walking he is saying, if the calculations of the 99 are correct, I only have 3 days left to line up. What should I do? And as Yifan opens the door of his house, he sees a paw moving towards Linger. And seeing this, Yifan gets very scared and he tells Linger that she should be careful. But when he looks carefully, he finds out that Linger is playing with that bear, and both of them are enjoying it a lot. Then both of them notice Yifan and Linger quickly goes and hugs Yifan. But Yifan is confused about what is this bear doing here. Then Linger tells Yifan that the name of this little bear is Cotton, and Yifan is a little surprised to hear this. Then Linger tells us, Little Cotton was my childhood companion pet, originally a small one very close to me. But one day, the Black Wind village attacked Zhong's stronghold, my parents were killed, and I was captured. Little Cotton got separated from me in the big fire. One day I will seek revenge. And after listening to all the things of Linger, Yifan puts his hand on Linger's head and tells her, Don't be sad, the Black Wind village no longer exists, those who harmed you have disappeared. And Linger is asking Yifan, What? The Black Wind village doesn't exist anymore? So Yifan said to Linger, Yes, they were too evil, they offended me, so I wiped them all out. Rest assured, from now on, you are my family, and no one can bully you. And Linger becomes happy after listening to Yifan. And we can see that the bear is crying a lot due to Linger's words. Then Linger says to Yifan, Yifan Gidge, are you hungry? I'll make something for you to eat. And Linger goes to bring something to eat for Yifan. Then the system is saying to Yifan, Hey, still talking big, you only have 3 days left. And Yifan gets disappointed again after listening to the system, and he is saying, Oh yeah, what to do? Where can I find a life-extending medicine in such a short time? But then the bear starts saying something, which we don't understand. But then Bear takes out a pill from his pocket, seeing which Yifan becomes very happy, and he is saying, This is recorded in the old man's medical skills, the Emperor's longevity fruit. Even if the quality of this fruit is compromised, it can still extend life by 5 years. Little Cotton, come with me to gather herbs. Just in case, take these few things. I won't be coming home for dinner today. And Yifan takes the bear with him and goes. And after this the scene shifts, and we see the scene of another place, and Wushuang has come to this place, and she is going ahead, and everyone is calling Wushuang's senior sister. Then Wushuang opens the big door, and goes inside, and a lady is sitting in front of her, and that lady is saying to Wushuang, Wushuang, did you gain anything from this experience? So Wushuang says to that lady, Sister, that day I went to Dalong Mountain to complete my training mission, but accidentally entered the Imperial Palace and obtained the Compassionate Sword. It's this thing. And Wushuang takes out a sword and shows it to the lady, seeing which the lady gets very shocked, and she says to Wushuang, Wushuang, come with me. Then the lady takes Wushuang to another place, and she is saying to Wushuang, This matter is not trivial, tell me in detail. So Wushuang starts telling, After obtaining the sword, I was chased by the stone dragon of the corpse Taoist. Just as I was about to perish here, a mysterious expert shot and saved me. After saving me, he didn't want the compassionate sword, but instead wanted a method to extend life. This is the imperial weapon. Many people want to seize it, but he didn't want it. Sister, I'm not lying to you. The strength of this mysterious expert is unfathomable. The crevice in Dalong Mountain was opened by him. He also said that when he finds the longevity item, he will go to Tianwu City to find it. And after listening to Wushuang, the lady says, In the Tianwu City I manage, there is still such a powerful person. Wushuang, I have already understood the course of events, but this matter is extraordinary. You first take good care of the compassionate sword and practice diligently. I need to report to the sect master. Then the lady starts leaving this place. But then Wushuang falls at that place, and seeing this the lady gets very nervous, and she goes near Hongying and starts lifting her. And we can see that some kind of power is spreading in Hongying's whole body, and seeing this the lady starts speaking, Yes, this is the hidden poison mark of the corpse Taoist. The hidden poison mark can only be removed by the one who applied the poison. What should we do? After this the scene shifts, and we see Hongying, and a servant has come to Hongying, and the servant is saying to Hongying, The apothecary you asked me to investigate doesn't seem to have anything special. And after listening to the servant, Hong Ying is saying, I never imagined that someone as prominent as a young master would hide in Tianwu City for 3 years. If he hadn't voluntarily revealed himself, I would have thought he was just an ordinary person. Then Hong Ying takes out a talisman from her, and looking at it she says, The two of you leaving your places without my permission, do you think I, as the master of this pavilion, am just a figurehead? Then we see another master who is talking to Hong Ying, and he is saying, Master Yi, what if we had to leave because of a millennium ginseng? And Hong Ying gets very shocked after listening to that master. Then that master is speaking further. A millennium spirit ginseng escaped from the Seal Gap in the Imperial Palace, evading the struggles of several princes, and is now hiding in the Great Dragon Mountain. And Hong Ying is speaking, This is precisely the longevity item that Master Yi entrusted me to find. Even if it's for a young master. Then Hong Ying calls her pet, and her pet is a mouse, which is bathing in gold coins. Then her mouse comes in her hands. Now Hong Ying is going somewhere with her mouse. On the other side we see Yi Fan and his bear, who have eaten a lot of fruits and are full, and are resting peacefully. And Yi Fan is looking at the system and saying, Finally managed to extend my lifespan to over a year. Too bad there's only one left, I really can't eat anymore, otherwise. But then Hong Ying's mouse starts running away with Yi Fan's fruit, due to which Yi Fan gets very angry, and he starts running after that mouse. But then he feels something, and we can see that the weather of this place starts changing, and Yi Fan is looking up and saying, Come to think of it, didn't we have this kind of situation before? But Yi Fan is still very angry with that rat. But there is something in that rat's mouth, and that rat comes to Yi Fan and gives him a necklace, seeing which Yi Fan understands that this necklace is Hong Ying's. And we see on the other side, where Hong Ying is fighting with an elder, and Hong Ying is saying to that elder, Elder, do you still want to fight for treasure? I'm from the main family. So the elder is attacking Hong Ying and saying, Just a pawn, even if I kill you here, who would care? An elder's attack is very powerful, due to which Hong Ying gets hurt very badly, and she falls away. An elder is getting very happy, and he is saying, You vile woman, strutting around as if you're the master of the Wanbao Pavilion. Once I get the ginseng, I'll consider giving you a decent death. Then the elder moves his hand towards Hong Ying. But then the elder notices that Hong Ying does not have the necklace he is looking for, due to which the elder starts getting very angry. But Hong Ying is getting very happy, and she is saying to the elder, You think you can steal the treasure with just you? Dream on. And after listening to Hong Ying, the elder gets very angry and he is about to attack Hong Ying directly. But then a light shines at that place, and we see that Yi Fan comes in front of Hong Ying. And Yi Fan stops the elder's attack with the necklace given by Hong Ying. And Yi Fan also attacks the elder and hits him. And Hong Ying is very happy to see Yi Fan, and Yi Fan is saying to Hong Ying, Thanks to this treasure-seeking mouse, I was able to rush over. But Yi Fan is thinking, But it's probably better not to let her know the details. And Hong Ying says to Yi Fan, Young master, this is the longevity item you were looking for. Then Yi Fan says, That's settled then. Now watch my performance. But then Yi Fan notices something, and we see that someone has attacked Yi Fan. But Yi Fan dodges that attack at the right time. And we see that another man comes to this place, who is flying in the air, and he is saying while releasing his aura, These two pests dare to be insolent in front of the golden elixir. And Hong Ying is saying to Yi Fan, Young master, both of them are golden elixir cultivators, you must be careful. So Yi Fan says to Hong Ying, Since there are two of them. Hong Ying, do you want revenge? And Hong Ying is a little surprised to hear Yi Fan's words, and she is saying, Me? But I'm only at the late foundation establishment stage. But Yi Fan gathers power in his fingers and puts it on Hong Ying's forehead and says it doesn't matter. And as Yi Fan does this, Hong Ying's cultivation increases, and she thinks, My cultivation is rising. Power of the golden elixir peak. And now Hong Ying takes out her whip. And then the elder again moves to attack Hong Ying. But now we see that both Hong Ying and Yi Fan are ready to fight. And the elder attacks. But Hong Ying and Yi Fan together hit the elder on his face, due to which the elder's cheek swells up. But even then the elder is saying, Bastard! Even my dad never hit me! But when the elder sees both of them in front of him, he is very scared. And he is apologizing to both of them. But Hong Ying and Yi Fan together hit the elder again, due to which the elder flies away and falls. And now the other elder starts getting very angry and he is saying, "You two are really troublemakers. Watch my ultimate move." And the other elder moves forward towards them, but we can see that the ultimate move of that elder is very dangerous, which falls at his feet and is apologizing to both of them. An elder catches Yi Fan and while crying he is apologizing to Yi Fan, and he is saying, "Boss, spare my life. I have a family to take care of. I've shed blood and sweat for the pavilion, I won't dare any more." And after listening to such things from an elder, Yi Fan is saying to Hong Ying, "Hey, has this old man always been like this? Should we let him go? It's up to you." And seeing the elder, Hong Ying herself is surprised and she is saying, "Elder, considering your dedication to the wondrous pavilion, if you pledge your allegiance to the young Master Yi and serve the wondrous pavilion faithfully, I will spare your life." Then the elder is ready to accept all the things of Hong Ying. And now both of them start leaving from this place, and seeing both of them going, the elder is thinking, it seems the wondrous pavilion will change hands in the future. After this, when both of them are moving forward, Hong Ying wants to say something to Yi Fan, then Yi Fan is asking Hong Ying, "Pavilion Master Yi, what's wrong with you?" And Hong Ying says to Yi Fan, "Thank you again for saving me, young master. Although I promised to help you find the elixir of longevity, but I still ended up relying on you to establish my authority." And seeing Hong Ying crying, Yi Fan put his hand on Hong Ying's shoulders and says to her, "Pavilion Master Yi, although I can fight a little, but I'm completely clueless about gathering intelligence. I'll still rely on you in the future. Don't underestimate yourself." And Hong Ying feels good after listening to Yi Fan. But then the system calls Yi Fan back into its dimension and says to him, "That's touching to say, but have you forgotten something?" Then the system puts its weapon near Yi Fan's neck, but Yi Fan says to the system, "Hey! Can you not interrupt me when I'm trying to gain favorability points?" Then the system says, "You want to live, right? Then why do you keep?" And Yi Fan gets a little confused after hearing the system's words. And the system also doesn't say anything to Yi Fan. Then after that the system again throws Yi Fan out of its dimension, and Yi Fan says to the system, "You damned girl, get out of this manga." But when Yi Fan's attention goes down, he realizes that he is on top of Hong Ying. And Hong Ying blushingly says to Yi Fan, "Can you get up from me?" And Yi Fan blushes knowing this situation and says, "I didn't mean to." And Hong Ying thinks, "Yi Master doesn't look down on me because of my low cultivation level. Instead, he repeatedly saved me from danger. Maybe I like him." Then Yi Fan moves away from Hong Ying and Hong Ying stands up. And while leaving from this place she says goodbye to Yi Fan. But while leaving she thinks, "What am I thinking? How can I dare to think of such a big shot like him?" And Yi Fan thinks, why did she leave just like that? After this the scene shifts and we see Heavenly Marshall City. And a laborer is saying, "Thanks to Lord Chu's return, he organized cultivators to help us." And another laborer says, "Yeah, otherwise, who knows how long it would take to finish the city walls. Do you think it was Lord Chu who exploded that noble back then?" So in reply to that the laborer says, "I don't think so. Lord Chu is skilled with the sword. It's probably the reclusive old weirdo from the city who did it." And we see a man, who is listening to those people's conversation from above. And this man has 6 eyes and he is thinking, "I didn't expect that old stone ghost, Shiyu, to really fall for this. Tianwu City has now become a thorn in the side of our corpse sect. Looks like we'll have to get rid of it." And we can see his shadow, which looks very dangerous. But then this man feels something and he looks at Linger, and looking at Linger he is thinking, is it actually a pure spirit? I didn't expect my luck to be so good. With this girl for alchemy, perhaps I can refine a pure spirit pill. And Linger is going towards her house laughing and singing, but then she notices something and says, "I remember, I closed the door, didn't I? Could it be a thief? Brother Fan, is that you?" And when she goes inside and looks, she sees a shadow, seeing which Linger gets very scared. But we see that it is Yi Fan, and he is telling Linger that I have returned. And seeing Yi Fan, Linger starts crying and going towards Yi Fan. She is saying, "Brother Fan, you scared me. I thought it was a thief." And Linger hugs Yi Fan. And Yi Fan is telling Linger that you need not be afraid. But we can see carefully that it is not Yi Fan. It is the same six-eyed demon, who is in front of Linger in the form of Yi Fan, outside Tianwu City. And the demon takes Linger to another place. And Linger is following the demon, and Linger is saying to the demon, Brother Fan, we've come so far from the city, what exactly are you taking me to see? So the demon smilingly says to Linger, it's the spiritual fruit I've hidden. It's a bit far, just hold on a little longer. But Linger says, no, Brother Fan wouldn't be like this. Who are you? And after listening to Linger, the demon becomes serious, and he shows his real look. And laughingly he says to Linger, of course, I'm your elder brother Yi Fan. I'll take this pure spirit body. On the other hand, we see that Yi Fan has returned to his house. And when he goes inside, he is very shocked, because the bear and his aunt both are unconscious. And Yi Fan is saying to his aunt Zhu, is this soul-searching technique? Where is Linger? I have to find her. Linger, where are you? And Yi Fan very quickly moves forward to find Linger, and he senses Linger and finds her. And we see that Linger is kept locked by that demon, and Yi Fan understands that the person who kidnapped Linger belongs to Krop's sect. And the demon is saying, whose mighty aura is it so astonishing? Once I refine this little girl into a pill, I'll surely attain such power through marrow refinement. And slowly Linger opens her eyes, and when she sees the demon in front of her, she is saying, who are you? What are you going to do to me? Yi Fan wouldn't let you get away with this. And demon says to Linger, your Yi Fan is just a mortal, what can he do for you? Don't even think about escaping, a mere cultivator like you can't escape from my hands. And they are the catalysts for my ascension to godhood. Don't cry, little girl, as a part of becoming a god, you should smile. And Linger says to that demon, beast, you're nothing in front of Yi Fan. And after listening to Linger's words, the demon gets very angry, and he directly attacks Linger and injures her. And he is saying to her, I want to see what capabilities that Yi Fan have, Nana. And blood is coming out of Linger's mouth, but she is thinking, Yi Fan, where are you? Linger can't hold on anymore. Then the demon starts coming in his original form, which looks very dangerous. And he again moves his hand forward to attack Linger, but then he notices something. And we see that Yi Fan, who is behind Linger, comes to that place. And seeing Yi Fan, the demon gets scared and Yi Fan asks the demon, are you the one who killed Shi Yu and Shi Long? And the demon is saying, but what does that matter? Yi Fan doesn't even know if I've captured this little brat. Quietly refining her into a pill, who else would know? And after listening to the demon, Yi Fan starts getting very angry. And he starts releasing his intense aura, feeling which the demon gets very scared. And Yi Fan is staring at him. And the demon gets very scared after realizing Yi Fan's power, and he is saying to Yi Fan, release me, and I'll give this little brat back to you. Then Linger opens her eyes and seeing Yi Fan, she is happy that Yi Fan has come here to save her. And Yi Fan is saying to Linger, yes, it's alright, I'm here. Let's go home together, and have some fish. And Linger is also getting very happy. Then Yi Fan is moving forward towards that demon to kill him, and is releasing his spiritual pressure, due to which the demon bows down on the ground, and he is saying to Yi Fan, sir, if you kill me now, you won't be able to bear the consequences. But Yi Fan says to the demon, you think you can threaten me just because you've caught someone under my protection? And Yi Fan starts using his power. And we can see that the demon slowly starts disappearing from this place. And in a short while the demon disappears and goes inside a ring, and Yi Fan uses his power to free Linger, and then the system arrives at that place. And Yi Fan gets scared after seeing the system, and the system has his weapon in its hand, and Yi Fan is saying in a panic, do you really need to be so dramatic every time? You little brat, I won't spare you in the future. And Yi Fan gets very scared. Then he opens his eyes, and he sees that the system is not saying anything to him. Nor is she hitting him, and seeing this Yi Fan is saying to the system, so gentle? Your system isn't glitching, is it? Then the system calls Yi Fan an idiot, and Yi Fan gets a little confused on hearing this. 2 days later, we see that someone enters Yi Fan's house, who comes inside by kicking the door. After this we see that the man has taken Yi Fan to another place. And the name of this man is Lin Lei, and Lin Lei is speaking to Yi Fan. Brother Yi, I never expected this. You've never been to the Lord's Manor. The Lord's Manor is off limits to irrelevant people. Lin Lei, the leader of Tianwu City, along with physician Yi Fan, seeks an audience with the Lord. This is where physicians wait, and representatives from various immortal sects have all come. And the door opens for both of them. Then when they go inside, they see that many people have come, and seeing them Lin Lei is saying, "Lazy, it's not appropriate for me to be here." But Yi Fan is stopping Lin Lei, but Lin Lei says to Yi Fan, "Why not? Remember the last time when I was seriously injured? You used that herb to revive me instantly." "I haven't forgotten." And Lin Lei is remembering the things of some time ago when he had come to Yi Fan. And Yi Fan is saying to Lin Lei, "Besides, Lady Chu, the city lord, is easy to get along with." "Lazy, why are you here? Aren't you supposed to be stationed at the Lord's Manor?" So Lin Lei tells Yi Fan, "Brother Yi, come and take a look at this. Hey! There's a major situation. The Lord has dispatched all of us." And Yi Fan starts looking at that thing carefully, and he is saying, "A recruitment notice from the Lord? Looking for a physician who can cure her sister?" And Lin Lei says, "Brother Yi, you're the best physician I know. If you can awaken the Lord's sister, you'll be her benefactor. Your future success is assured." So Yi Fan tells Lin Lei, "Success doesn't mean much to me, and besides, if the Lord wants to find a physician, she'll look for those immortal sect doctors. What does it have to do with a mere mortal like me?" But Lin Lei tells Yi Fan, "I heard that the Lord has offered various secret techniques and longevity elixirs from her collection as a reward for treatment. Brother, I'm worried about your cultivation too." And as soon as Yi Fan hears about the secret technique, he becomes very happy. And he starts taking Lin Lei with him. And Lin Lei is remembering all these things. After this we see a servant who calls a physician, and we see that an elder is going to cure Wishwang. And seeing that elder, all the people who have come to that place are talking, "Is this the famous Dr. Li from Hundred Herbs Valley? I heard he's quite renowned in Hundred Herbs Valley. If he can't cure Lady Chu's sister, I think we should pack up and leave." And Yi Fan is also looking at that elder. After one stick of incense, the elder comes out. He has not been able to cure Wishwang yet. Then Lin Lei is saying to that elder, "Dr. Li, even you can't cure her?" So the elder tells Lin Lei, "The illness of the Lord's sister is not caused by ordinary poison, but a mix of witchcraft, venom, and curse sorcery. I'm helpless." Then the servant calls Yi Fan, and Yi Fan comes inside. And when Yi Fan looks in front, there are two people in front of him, a small child and a lady. And this is the same lady? And looking at the lady, Yi Fan is thinking, "Is this Lady Chu? Why does she look familiar? But I've never met her before?" Then Yi Fan greets the lady, and the lady also greets Yi Fan. And Yi Fan is speaking to the lady, "Hello, Lady Chu. I am Yi Fan, a physician from Tianwu City." And Yi Fan is thinking, "This Lady Chu. Why does she seem so familiar?" Then that child gets up and looking at Yi Fan says, "Oh my God! Even a young cultivator remains composed upon seeing us. Such grace! Young man, I admire you greatly." Then the lady tells Yi Fan about that little child. "This person is Elder Marika, the head of the Dan Pavilion of Tianyu Palace. And also my senior brother. He came here specifically to assist the physicians in treating my sister's strange illness. This is my sister, Chu Wishwang. She fell ill suddenly after returning from Mount Longshan to the sect and hasn't awakened since." And Yi Fan is very shocked to see Wishwang, and he says, "Wishwang? I never expected that since our parting at Mount Longshan, Wishwang would be afflicted with such a strange illness. It's probably related to the necromancer sect." Then the lady says to Yi Fan, "Mr. Yi, can you heal her?" So Yi Fan says, "Don't worry, I'll first examine Wishwang's meridians." And Yi Fan is checking Wishwang's pulse. And then a man comes to that place, and looking at that man, little elder is saying, "Oh, bothersome little ghosts are here." And the lady says to that man, "What brings young Master Jin here?" So Jin Yang says, "Upon learning that Wishwang was injured, I rushed here from the Jin family. Lady Chu, how is Wishwang now?" And Jin Yang starts coming forward, and the lady is saying while looking at Wishwang, "After returning to the sect, my sister suddenly collapsed, and then a demonic pattern spread from her heart, deepening day by day, and she became unconscious. And Jin Yang asks, "Who is this beside you?" So the lady says, "He is a physician from the city clinic, Mr. Yi." But Jin Yang says Lady Chu is overly concerned about her sister, so it's understandable she sought medical help desperately. But how can a mortal physician like Yi Fan, who is still in the blood-nourishing period, cure Wushuang? And we see that Yi Fan gets very serious after seeing Wushuang's condition, and he is thinking, Wushuang's spiritual sea is currently being corroded by an unknown blood qi, consuming her vitality. That's the crux of the matter. It looks very ominous. I suspect it's the work of the necromancer sect. To expend billions of cultivation to help her. And Jin Yang is saying to Yi Fan, "What are you staring at Wushuang for? This is none of your business, so get out quickly." And after listening to Jin Yang, Yi Fan says to the lady, "Lady Chu, I've almost figured out the cause of her illness. Will you let me try to treat her or not?" And Jin Yang is saying to Yi Fan, "You, a blood-nourishing stage cultivator, think you can find the cause of Wushuang's illness? Stop embarrassing yourself and get out." And after listening to Jin Yang, Yi Fan is saying to him, "Since you're so confident, then give it a try." So Jin Yang goes to Wushuang, and while checking her pulse, he says, "Consider yourself fortunate for having some self-awareness." But when Jin Yang is checking Wushuang's pulse, he is unable to detect anything, due to which we can see that blood is coming out of her mouth. Both the little elder and the lady are getting very worried for Wushuang, because now Wushuang's health is getting worse. And we see that Wushuang is bleeding from her mouth. And seeing this, everyone is shocked and they are unable to understand what is going on. And Jin Yang is thinking nervously, "I just probed Chu Wushuang's sea of consciousness with true qi. Why is her reaction so strong? Could it be that this guy is interfering?" Then Jin Yang points his finger towards Yi Fan and says, "It must be you. You're interfering. That's what's making Chu Wushuang's condition worse." But Yi Fan tells them, "You just used true qi to probe Chu Wushuang's sea of consciousness. It clashed directly with the poison in her body, so started spitting blood. To cure her illness, we need to pinpoint the core of the poison. Lord Chu, do you believe me?" And after listening to Yi Fan, the lady starts believing him a little. And she is saying to Yi Fan, "Mr. Yi, I will leave Wushuang to you." And after listening to the lady, Jin Yang starts getting angry, and shouting at the younger elder, "Senior Mao, how can you trust a useless person in the blood nourishment stage to be near Wushuang?" But the younger elder says to Jin Yang, "Young Master Jin, open your eyes wide and take a good look. This person's cultivation is not as simple as it appears on the surface." And Jin Yang is surprised to see Yi Fan's power. And he says, "This is external release of true yuan. How is this possible?" And the younger elder is thinking, indeed, he was concealing his true cultivation before. And the lady is saying, "This power must be from the expert Wushuang mentioned." And Yi Fan is treating Wushuang, and a golden-colored aura is coming out of Yi Fan's body, which is clearly visible, and is going out very fast. After some time, Wushuang's eyes start opening. And she is surprised to see the lady, Yi Fan, and the younger elder in front of her. Then the lady is saying to Yi Fan, "Thank you, Senior, for saving her life. From now on, Chu Wuyue will be at your disposal." "Thank you, Senior, for saving me once again." And Yi Fan says, "There's no need for such formalities, it's just a small effort." And then the elder climbs on Yi Fan's shoulder, and he is saying to Yi Fan, "The younger generation is formidable. Are you interested in joining Tianyu Palace? I can give you a peek to play with." But Yi Fan tells the younger elder, "No need, I'm just a villager from the mountains, used to freedom and leisure." At the same time Yi Fan is thinking, "You promise secret manuals and elixirs, but what use is a peek to me?" But at this time someone is getting very angry at Yi Fan, and it is Jin Yang. And Jin Yang is thinking, external release of the true yuan should at least have reached the nascent divinity level. I've never heard of someone so young reaching nascent divinity in Tianwu City. Maybe he temporarily boosted his strength with the secret medicine. Wushuang and I grew up together, and yet that woman from the Chu family trusts that outsider more than me. Unbelievable. Fine, this isn't over." Then Jin Yang greets Yi Fan and says, "Young friend, he is truly beyond appearance. It's my oversight. In the future, my Jin family will stand by you. For the Chu family too. We owe you a debt. And Jin Yang says goodbye to Yi Fan and leaves from here. And Yi Fan is thinking, this Jin Yang, his words don't match his heart. After returning, he might cause some trouble. Then the lady says to Yi Fan, Senior Yi, Wushwang has been settled and is resting now. Let me take you to collect the reward for treatment. And after listening to the lady, Yi Fan is thinking, forget it, when I have the longevity pill, I'll be able to use more cultivation. Even if there are 1,000,000 Jin families, it won't matter. Then the scene shifts to Lord's mansion, the treasure pavilion. And when Yi Fan sees a lot of treasures, his eyes start shining and he is saying, this is even more extravagant than the Wanbao pavilion. And the lady is saying to Yi Fan, although it can't compare to the accumulation of Tianyu Palace, it has been managed by me for many years and contains many treasures. And the younger elder is laughingly saying, hee, if you have time, I'll take you to Tianyu Palace for a visit. There are many treasures there. And Yi Fan is holding his head and saying, Senior Mao, although I want to accept your invitation, the villains from the corpse-carrying sect have injured my medicine boy and provoked me multiple times. This grudge must be settled. Lord Chu, Wushwang is probably also injured by the corpse-carrying sect. You need to be more careful in the future. And the lady tells Yi Fan, the corpse-carrying sect is indeed a major hidden danger. Now that the compassionate emperor's immortal palace has descended again, the entire continent is likely to be plunged into chaos again. Hearing the lady's words, Yi Fan is asking the lady, Lord Chu, what exactly is this? Compassionate Emperor Immortal Palace. You mentioned? So the lady tells Yi Fan, Emperor Immortal Niantian is the man closest to becoming a god in the continent for thousands of years. In ancient times, the great Xuanqiu realm split into 9 continents, each guarded by 9 Emperor Immortals. They fought against the abyss and sealed the demons into the depths of the abyss. The Emperor Immortal Palace that suddenly appeared this time is said to be the tomb prepared by the Emperor Immortals for themselves. Inside, there are not only countless treasures, but also their physical bodies sealed. The splitting of the Great Dragon Mountain into 2 halves and the sudden appearance of the Emperor's Immortal Palace are extraordinary events. And listening to the lady, Yi Fan is thinking, Great Dragon Mountain? It seems that was the mountain I split. Did my strike create a duplicate? What's going on? Then the younger elder says, Junior sister, it's getting late. Take young Master Yi to the treasure pavilion quickly. And the lady gives Yi Fan a reward and tells him, a storage ring and a pill that can extend life by 1,000 years. There are also some spiritual herbs in the storage ring for the seniors to use. If it's not enough, you can come to the Lord's mansion. And Yi Fan is very happy to see his reward. But then the system comes to Yi Fan, and she tells Yi Fan, Hey, contain yourself. Your rising smile is about to lift AK-47. But Yi Fan is telling the system nonsense. Don't slander me. Then the lady tells Yi Fan, it would be great if it's useful to the senior. At that time, Wushwang hadn't mentioned the senior's appearance yet, only that the senior lived in the martial city and was looking for a longevity pill. For Wushwang's sake, I had to release the news and take a gamble. I didn't expect you to really come. These treasures were prepared to thank you. These are some secret manuals I've collected. You can choose one to take with you. And Yi Fan is very surprised to see so many secret manuals. But he picks up a manual, and the lady gets a little surprised seeing that manual, and she says, but this one is about body refining. Senior Yi, you might want to consider other manuals. And the younger elder says to the lady, Junior sister Wuyue, maybe young friend Yi has his reasons for choosing this? Let's not interfere as outsiders. And Yi Fan is looking at the secret manual and thinking, Lord Chu is right. But with my cultivation of billions, what I need most is not a cultivation technique but a stronger physique. And the lady says to Yi Fan, since the senior has decided, then this manual is a gift to the senior. We will be returning to Tianyu Palace soon. If there is news from the corpse-carrying sect, I will notify the senior immediately. Good. Then we'll take our leave. Then the scene shifts. And Lin Lei is saying to Yi Fan, you're so hot to the drunken fragrance tower for a good meal. Let's celebrate. And Yi Fan says to Lin Lei, then I'll graciously accept. That's when I pointed at Chu's city lord's sister's forehead and used the one yang finger technique. At that moment. But then we see a man behind both of them, who has a dagger in his hand. And that man attacks Yi Fan with the dagger. He attacks him, and then Lin Lei senses his attack and quickly comes in front of Yi Fan and takes the attack of the dagger on himself. And seeing this, Yi Fan gets very worried for Lin Lei. It has been happening. And Lin Lei falls on the ground, and Yi Fan is scared seeing Lin Lei's wound. But Lin Lei tells Yi Fan, "It's okay, just superficial wounds." And the assassin is silently watching them both leave from the roof. But when Yi Fan looks up, he doesn't see anyone. After this the scene shifts, and we see a scene from another place. And the assassin comes to a man and he is saying, "Master, after testing, it's confirmed that Yi Fan didn't notice my attack." Instead, the commander of Tianwu's city beside him noticed something was wrong, and Jin Yang says to his father, "Father, I told you that Yi Fan is just a mortal, nothing to fear." So his father says, "Yang, based on your description, after this incident, Yi Fan will definitely receive the protection of the Moon Palace. And the Moon Palace is not something our golden family can afford to provoke." And Jin Yang is saying they may be close, but are they as close as us and the Chu family? We even had an engagement agreement back then. And his father says since Chu Yue became the peak master, the Chu family is no longer the same as before. Yang, we need to adjust our attitude. And hearing this, Jin Yang gets angry and he says, "So that's it?" And his father says, "You're not as good as others." But we can see that Jin Yang is getting very angry. Then he leaves from this place. But when he comes to his room, he breaks the teacup, and angrily says, "Just a mortal, what's so terrifying about him? What kind of family master of the Golden Family? Just a coward." But then someone comes to that place and he says to Jin Yang, "Jin Yang, you need to change your temper." And this is Jin Yang's master. And Jin Yang is also surprised at what is his master doing here. And his master is saying, "Jin Yang, what's got you so worked up?" Then Jin Yang tells everything to his master. And after listening to all the things of Jin Yang, his master is saying him, Jin Jinyan is old, and his style of doing things has become more conservative in recent years. You certainly think so too. And Jin Yang is shouting, "Our golden family was originally on par with the Chu family in Hezhou. But because Chu Wuyue climbed up to the Moon Palace, my father bowed to them. If I were the head of the golden family would never have fallen to such a state." And Jin Yang's master says, "Good, this ambition is what makes a good disciple. Come with me." Then the master summons a big serpent using his power, and he says to Jin Yang, "Good disciple. Let's go." So Jin Yang is asking where we have to go. So his master says, "To a place where we can gain power." Then the scene shifts. 1 month later the Moon Palace sword peaks. And the lady is practicing, then she gets a letter, seeing which she is a little surprised. Then she uses her power and gets to know what is written in it. Then she starts going inside. And Yi Fan also gets a similar thing, seeing which Yi Fan says, "How did this paper crane fly into the clinic by itself?" And Linger is saying to Yi Fan, "Brother Yi can communicate over long distances with the spirit communication talisman." Then Yi Fan says, "So it's like a cell phone from this side." But Linger gets a little confused after knowing about the cell phone. Then we see that the thing gets activated, and there is a message in that thing that saves me. And Yi Fan gets very surprised after hearing this, and he understands whose voice it is. It is the voice of a lady. Then we see Jin Yang's master, who is using his power, and he is saying, with all the guests assembled like this. But then a man comes behind the master, seeing whom the master is surprised, and he is saying, "Head of the Golden Family, show them your true colors." And we see that it is Jin Yang, and he is smiling. Then the scene shifts. And we see the lady, who is fighting inside a cave. And there are some puppets in front of the lady, and all those puppets together are attacking the lady. And the lady has spent 7 days fighting at this place. But still the puppets are coming, and the lady is fighting with all of them. But she is thinking, no matter how many I say. Then once again all the puppets together move forward to attack the lady. And the lady also does a dangerous attack on those puppets, due to which many puppets get destroyed. But still many puppets are left, and then we see that blood is coming out of the lady's mouth, and she sits on her knees and she is thinking, the invitation from the Jean family a month ago was indeed a conspiracy. On that day I received the letter from the Jean family. Because of Jean Yang's previous rudeness, he specially hosted a banquet to apologize to me. Although I don't like banquets, the Jean family has a long-standing friendship with the Chu family, so I had to accept the invitation. Where are the people? This cup. Made of paper? Not good. It's a trap. Teleportation array. Where is this? And then many skeletons start coming out of the formation, which hold the lady's legs. Then many puppets together attack the lady, due to which the lady gets stuck at that place. Then the scene shifts. Tianwu City not long ago. And we can see many people at this place, and Wishwang is giving something to Yi Fan and saying, "Senior Yi, I have brought what you requested." And Yi Fan takes that thing, and happily says thank you to Wishwang. Then when Yi Fan opens that thing, there is something in it, seeing which Yi Fan is saying, "City Lord Chu, it tastes good." And seeing that thing Wishwang gets very shocked, and she bows in front of Yi Fan. And she is saying to Yi Fan, "Sister, I'm sorry for letting you down." But Yi Fan is saying, "With this, we will definitely be able to find City Lord Chu." And Wishwang is crying and saying to Yi Fan, "Senior Yi, is there no other way to find my sister?" But Yi Fan is thinking, there is another way. Once I use my divine sight to find City Lord Chu, I'll take down that little demon 99. And I'll finally have the life I've fought so hard for. Then Yi Fan says to Wishwang, "Anyway, let's try this and see if we can find her. Just as I explained to you, the closer the clothes, the more we can track the location and information of City Lord Chu." And Yi Fan uses his power on the lady's clothes, and while flying his senses reach the place where the lady is. And as soon as he reaches that place, he sees some puppets, seeing which Yi Fan gets very shocked. And Wishwang is asking Yi Fan, "Senior Yi, have you found my sister? Where is she?" But Yi Fan gets a little confused and he is saying to Wishwang, "According to the location I sensed, she should be in the southwest, here." And Yi Fan points out the top of a mountain on the map. And Wishwang gets ready to go with Yi Fan, and she also holds her sword. And Yi Fan is also very happy with this. Then Yi Fan asks Wishwang to hold him. But Wishwang gets a little confused. Then we see that Wishwang is flying with Yi Fan on the sword. Then they reach that place, and Yi Fan is looking ahead and saying, "This place looks just like a horror movie, are you sure it's safe?" And then we see two puppets, who are watching both of them from behind. And then both the puppets together move forward to attack them both. But Yi Fan comes in front of Wishwang, and tells Wishwang to be careful. And then the puppets are about to attack Yi Fan. But a lady comes to that place, and destroys both those puppets with her attack. And we can see that the condition of the lady is very bad. But she is asking both of them if they are okay? And Wishwang is getting a little worried seeing the lady because she is injured. And the lady is saying to Yi Fan, "Mr. Yi, how did you and Wishwang come here?" And Yi Fan says to the lady, "I received your distress signal through the paper crane, so I came." And listening to Yi Fan, the lady says, "How is that possible? Although it's dangerous this time, I didn't send a distress signal to you." And as soon as both of them listen to the lady, they get very shocked. Then they attack those puppets together, and destroy them very easily. And Yi Fan is checking those puppets. Then the lady is saying to Yi Fan, "If I'm not mistaken, these paper men should be the doing of the Jean family. But there's also a hint of sinister aura emanating from these paper men." And Yi Fan says, "Could it be that the Jean family has joined forces with some cult? Which sect holds a grudge against both me and Lord Chu?" And the lady gets surprised after hearing Yi Fan's words. And then Yi Fan understands what the matter is, and then we see that many more puppets are coming towards them. And Wishwang says to the lady and Yi Fan, "Sister, Senior Yi, those paper men are crawling up again. Damn it! This is never ending." On the other side we see a man who is looking at a crystal ball and they are fighting with the puppets. And this is the Patriarch. Then we see that many people are sitting at that place and the Patriarch is saying, "Finally, the three of them have arrived." Then a female says, "To be hindered by these trivial things, It seems that Chu Wuyue is nothing special after all, and the demon wearing a red mask says, "Mind Gu, don't let your guard down." And the patriarch is saying, "That's right, although we have the winning hand, we still need to be cautious. But with our cooperation this time, even if the esteemed ones of the Great Sun Dynasty come, they won't escape, so we can rest assured." And Jin Yang says, "It's also thanks to the assistance of the sect master that we can cooperate. When the heavenly moon palace is destroyed, the compassionate emperor's immortal palace will be within our grasp." And another female says, "However, respected elders, it seems you're not very willing to cooperate." Then a female elder shouts and says, What nonsense are you spouting? Our Jin family elders naturally serve the family master, it has nothing to do with anyone else." And on hearing the female elder's words, the red mask says, "Then swallow this, to prove your loyalty." Then another elder says, "What do you mean?" And the female elder says to Jin Yang, "Family master, the corpse-carrying sect is pushing their luck." So Jin Yang says, "I think what Elder Ren said makes sense." And after listening to Jin Yang's words, all the elders get very shocked. And we see that the female elder eats that worm, due to which this female becomes very happy, and she is saying, "If you have any rebellious thoughts, the goo worms in your body won't be merciful." And all the three elders become silent now, and then the master is saying, "All right, if you elders don't form up soon, the two family masters will start losing patience." Then the patriarch says, "Blade business, mind Gu, you two along with the Jin family's elder Yuhua and elder Jin Ming, go to the Miasma Valley." And after listening to the patriarch, both of them say yes. And the elder also says yes. After this the scene shifts to Miasma Valley. And then we see that a crack starts appearing at that place, which is a barrier. And the barrier is breaking, seeing which Yi Fan gets a little surprised. And we see that at that place many skeletons are coming out of the ground, seeing which the lady is saying, "Everyone, be careful, it's similar to the last time's handiwork." And then some people come to that place, and those people are saying, "The esteemed peak master of the heavenly moon palace, Chu Yue, is nothing special, Elder Wu has been mistaken." And listening to the voice of those people, Yi Fan and the lady are asking who it is, so we see that the same people have come to that place, whom we had seen earlier. And after seeing them, those people understand that all of them belong to the crop crying sect. And the female is saying after seeing those people, "It seems we don't need to make a move, this group of people can bite you to death. By then, you'll all be my puppets and toys, ha ha ha." But then the head of that female bursts, and this attack is done by Yi Fan. And seeing this, Wushuang, the lady gets surprised, and Yi Fan is saying angrily, "You're wasting your breath. Better think about what kind of death will be more entertaining later. I'm right, aren't I?" And seeing Yi Fan's power, the lady is thinking, "He's even stronger than I imagined." And seeing Yi Fan's power, the red mask is saying, "How is that possible? Who are you?" And Yi Fan is saying, "Unrivaled Chu Yue, you deal with those small fries." And after listening to Yi Fan, both of them also get ready. Then Yi Fan is saying while going ahead, "I'll handle them. 3 moves. No. Then Yi Fan grabs a stick and points it at them saying, "I'll deal with you. In 1 move." And those people get very angry after listening to Yi Fan. Then both the elders and the demon wearing the red mask together move forward to attack Yi Fan. But Yi Fan is staring at them. Then the female elder attacks Yi Fan. But Yi Fan is able to dodge all the attacks of the female elder easily. And then the red mask attacks Yi Fan from behind. But Yi Fan blocks his attack and his weapon hits another elder's hand, due to which the elder gets injured. And Yi Fan is smiling and saying, "What's wrong? Weren't you just arrogant?" It seems that the so-called strong ones are nothing but this, and the red mask attacks Yi Fan again. But Yi Fan finds the attack of that red mask very slow. And Yi Fan very easily catches the hand of that red mask. Then he lifts him up and punches him hard in the stomach, due to which the red mask falls very far away. Then Yi Fan hits a dangerous slash on him, due to which the red mask dies right there. But while dying he is saying, "The swordsmanship I've never fully grasped, he effortlessly executed it. Who is he exactly?" And seeing such dangerous power of Yi Fan, the lady is thinking, his strength is definitely not just this nascent soul stage? No, this kind of relaxed posture and strength. And when the smoke clears, we see that a very long crater is formed at that place. And we see the female elder, whose mouth is bleeding and she is thinking, just couldn't dodge in time, grazed by the sword she. And ended up like this. At least I survived. Jin Ming had such bad luck, caught within the range of the sword she. Died on the spot. Can't stay here, have to escape. And as soon as the female elder is about to run away from here, Wushwang and the lady put their sword on the neck of the female elder. And the lady is saying, Jin Yuhua, I ask you, where is Wu Jie? If you answer my question, I'll spare your life. Otherwise. So the female elder is saying, I'll talk, he's. But before the female elder says anything, we see that something starts happening to the female elder. This is happening because of the insect which the female elder had eaten some time ago. And because of that, poison starts spreading in the whole body of the female elder. And the female elder dies due to the poison. And seeing this, all three of them are very surprised. On the other side, we see that the patriarch is watching all these things in the crystal ball, and he is saying, this Yi Fan, indeed quite a troublemaker. Even with my current cultivation, I can't deal with a nascent soul stage cultivator so cleanly. Jin Patriarch, you've really stirred up quite a character. So Jin Yang is saying, Wu Patriarch, that guy concealed his strength at that time, much stronger than I anticipated. And the Patriarch says, in that case, Jin Patriarch, you must break through to the nascent soul stage as soon as possible. Go devour more spiritual energy and life, and finally crush Yi Fan under your foot. Remember, all sacrifices are worth it. And Jin Yang is sitting quietly at that place, and then Jin Yang shouts, Elder Jin Nan, quickly prepares the blood sacrifice. Otherwise. An elder gets surprised on hearing Jin Yang's words and he is saying, if we listen to that Wu Jie, our Jin family will be no more. And Jin Yang says, what about it? If I ascend to divinity, would I still fear that the Jin family cannot rise? Elder Jin Nan quickly prepared the blood sacrifice. Otherwise. An elder gets very shocked after listening to Jin Yang. But he agrees to accept Jin Yang's words. Then the scene shifts and Wushwang, Yi Fan and the lady are leaving from this place. And Yi Fan is thinking while looking at the system, my lifespan has indeed decreased. But that little demon 99, shouldn't she come out and mock me with joy? It feels strange without her. No. Why am I having such thoughts? Could it be I'm a masochist? No way. And seeing Yi Fan disappointed, Wushwang asks Yi Fan if he is okay? So Yi Fan says I am fine. And the lady is thinking, Elder Yi, although your strength is unfathomable, you don't have that annoying arrogance. If Wushwang could, and Yi Fan says to the lady, Lord Chu, thank you for saving me back then. So the lady says to Yi Fan, will you also thanks Elder Yi for helping multiple times? And the lady is thinking, as a swordsman, one should have no desires, no aspirations, single-mindedly devoted to the sword. And Wushwang's friendship with the Elder Yi, I should be happy for her, but why is there? And they leave the place.